Morning, everyone. Look who's come to wake me up. How are you, buddy? Huh? How are you? You about ready to go out and do your thing? Yeah. Been here in the desert for a couple of days in the bus. Been pretty nice. 95 degrees in the daytime, about 70 plus in the evening, but not bad. I got my mirror here with a window that I can leave open. It just puts a nice breeze right across the head of my bed. So it makes it really nice. And also a fan back in the back that blows air on me. So it's pretty cool, pretty nice. We're going to get ready to go. Take the pup out for his morning walk. And then we're going to work our way around and hit the road today. After we do a couple errands in town. We're still here in Quartzsite area, so we'll visit them one more time and then get on the road. Today in the desert, we're going to do a little piddling on the bus. We won't do a lot of things because it's about 90 plus degrees. Just looking, I saw some trash over there. I'll have to pick it up later if I can get to it. It's underneath that tree. Really hard to see back there. There it is. We'll see about getting that. Maybe not, depending on the access. Pretty snaky looking. It's a really snaky looking. But we're going to do a couple things just really moderately because it's pretty hot. But yesterday I talked about the water bottle leaking. I took it off and I can't see, but I went ahead, whoops, because sunlight's killing me, put some Gorilla Glue industrial strength super adhesive whatever on there, and that should keep it from leaking. I also put it over here too because I found a little crack right through here. So maybe the mechanic didn't do it, or the tow truck. Maybe it's just because it's 18 years old. And also, just notice that the it's cracked. So I would say it's just bad plastic. But we glued it back up and see what happens. Another thing I'm going to do is on this air intake. This is my air filter. This thing is massive. I mean, look the size of my hand. This thing is bigger than my hand, and it goes all the way back into here. And so it draws its air for the turbo, which is down that tube there, from under the hood. Now, I'm not an engineer, it doesn't make much sense. Through that hole right there. Yeah, that hole will drop down on top of this. But look where it comes from. It comes from that hole, all the way down, all the way across, and then out the other side to this vent, which, you know, that's a long way to draw air to get in there. Maybe it's there for a reason. Maybe it's engineering or something, but I've got to replace or fix one thing on here that might help keep a little bit of the hot air from getting sucked down the turbo. There's a hole right there. That hole was cut out in the hood, which goes into the air system for, guess, other than these things. This is my AC unit. I have two of them. I've got a compressor here, and I've got a compressor back under here. And I think when they put these on, up too high, chop a hole and close it down. But I think that might have had some tape on it. Something. I'm gonna try to fix something so it doesn't draw air right off the engine and then suck it right into the turbo. That might, I don't know if it'll do anything, but I'm gonna try it. Keep all the hot air from the engine getting sucked into the engine right back in, and then draw a little cooler air from outside. You know, 90-degree air from outside compared to 300 or 400-degree air in here getting sucked up in there. So we'll see about that. And tomorrow I'm heading out and towards Phoenix. I'm going to get my oil change over at AAA Bus Sales. Tony at AAA is from what I understand, the guru of buses. And I'm going to have him change the oil and also See about it, I got an overheating problem. Not really overheating, but it shows hot on the gauge, but it doesn't show, it never boils over. And I think the part of it is, let me get around again to the other side, is there's a coolant bottle. It's got a, what is it, 15, 16, 10-pound cap on it. So it's not a lot of pressure, 10 PSI. And what this thing does is, as I'm driving down the road and going up a hill, up a grade, the gauge inside will go to 220, 230, and it's got like 2 or 3 alarms just going off crazy. And I'll pull over. This is happening for the last, 3 years. I pull over and let the engine sit and idle for 3 minutes, and it'll drop 30 degrees or 40 degrees, and I take off again. And then it'll heat up again a little bit, and I may do the same thing. Depending on the size of the grade and the mountain, I may have to pull over 4 or 5 times to get to the top, because this system, as it's, I think, don't quote me, is computer controlled. I know that. So when it gets hot on the gauge, it'll start putting the engine, this little pupper right here, into a limp mode, which means it doesn't want to give it all it's got because it thinks it's running too hot. I don't know, but this is my coolant temperature sensor. I may change that. My water pump's right there. The fan is not turning freely, so it's in the mechanic over in Blythe. So the clutch fan looks good. These clutch fans behind here, they're like $1,100 for these things on the front, right there. Like $1,100 for these things, for a new one. Used one you get for like $4, which still way too much money. But anyway, but I think the issue is, I may be having radiator issues. This is common on buses. Is it's got this massive, hood. I don't want to close the hood because my things are. It's got this massive, opening. That's not all radiator. It looks like it's a radiator. No. Look again in this. This looks like it's all radiator. No. Radiator starts right about here. So this is the top of the radiator right here. Right here. This is the top of the radiator. This is intercooler up on top, which gets the air for the turbo, which comes back through here and back into there and all that stuff. So this is air for the turbo. Radiator starts here, and then in front of that is my AC evaporator, which covers the entire thing. And I think what happens is, this fan is up a little high. You can see it, about this much of the fan is actually not even on the radiator. It's into the turbo intercooler. So this radiator is not getting a full suction of air through there. And from what I understand, the top part of these radiators can get plugged up with calcium and debris and things like that, because they get their coolant filled. Both of them are down here at the bottom. So water goes in one side of the bottom, comes out the other side of the bottom. So there's no upward movement like most cars and trucks will have, a high and a low, so you get kind of a cross. These don't. These just go right to the bottom. So I think that gets plugged up, and the fan is only hitting on about 2/3 of the radiator, so it's not having enough. And the part it's hitting on most is the upper part, which may be plugged. So which means it's not driving, it's not pulling the air through the radiator to keep it cool. Now the thing with this is, as I said, this is a 10-pound PSI, which is not much pressure, 10 PSI. It has never boiled over. If this gauge says 230 degrees and all the alarms are going off, I come out and open up the hood, it looks just like this. It maybe have a little bit of a ripple, from it moving. Never has boiled over. Under 10 pounds. If your engine's running 240 degrees, 212 is a boiling point. Maybe the antifreeze changes a little bit better, but I think it would blow this thing off, and we would have an antifreeze leak, but we don't. Never had a problem with the antifreeze coolant level being too low or too high. So I don't know. I'll ask Tony when I go to Phoenix, get my oil change, because it's time for an oil change. And these diesel engines like to have fresh oil for a few minutes, because They run the high pressure oil pump, H-pop they call it, is your runs your injectors. So you need oil to run your injectors to get your engine running. And if you run the oil too long, I think it breaks down the viscosity and you don't have a good flow of oil, which could cause issues also. But we're going to try to fill up that hole that's in there, that little one. Okay, here, right there. That fits down on top of the AC. I do need to charge my AC units because I'm not getting a lot of cool air inside. And I'll do that tomorrow or something that when I go to the laundromat before I leave. But here's, I just use this. This is just a hose. You've seen these at Walmart. Everyone's got them. You got a gauge on it. Not the most accurate, but it works. And this can at Walmart is about 10 bucks. This can in Quartzsite is how much? Yep, $28.99. It's Quartzsite's a little expensive. And this does have the stop leak in it, so it is a little more expensive, but still not $29. It's more like $15. But anyway, that's Quartzsite. But yeah, we got the reservoir drying. It'll be dry in a little while. It takes pretty quick, and I'm gonna work on getting this hole patched up, and then we'll be getting on the road again and see if we can make some miles under us. Now, I said it's about 90. We'll be at 95 today. Zen is under the bus. There's not much shade in the afternoon. There he is at the back of his body. There's not much shade in the afternoon over here because the tree hasn't quite gotten this far, but another hour or so we'll have some shade. And he's just trying to stay cool. Made it outside. Got getting ourselves ready to go. I'm going to show you something real quick. These little plants down here, these are killers. This is, I can focus in on it. It's kind of bright, but that little plant right there, they're just like everywhere. They're only like 1 to 3 inches tall. They get really pretty flowers on in the spring. Then they get green and soft, and then when they dry up, they become deadly. They are spiky and they hurt. Oh, and they stick everywhere in your feet, dog's feet, dog fur, and they're just all over the desert. They're called spine flowers. I think that's what they're called, spine flowers. Makes sense, but they're deadly. Things out here in the desert like to stick to you. So I guess it's their defense, but also a way of repopulating because you get those little spines in your feet or whatever, and you drag them someplace else and they'll grow more. Back on the bus, I got my water jug put back on. I got it sealed up across the bottom with some Gorilla adhesive, Gorilla glue adhesive. We'll make it go a few more miles. It's not leaking anymore. It's been there all night, so there's no water on the ground. And then I also made a little tape bowl for my hole in the hood that I was showing on the other part. So we're getting ready to head towards town pretty soon, do some laundry, and pick up our packages because I've got on the back, I've got a turn signal that's about half of the LEDs are working, so I'll have to change those. And I took advantage of my downtime and had some more LED lights ordered and sent to my mailbox. So I'll pick those up on the go in town also. So we'll be ready to go pretty soon. Zen has heard the word go and resting under the bus for a few minutes. We'll enjoy this nice breeze and this cooler morning, and then we'll be heading to town. Hopefully, if the bus starts. Okay, here we go. This is the first time to try to start it after I've been parked for 2 days, so let's see what happens. Turn my ACs off. Let it do its warm-ups and hopefully see if it starts. Oh, there you go. Whew. That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear the thing start. The beeping noise is my brake pressure. There it goes. Once my brakes release to a certain pressure, once they get there, the alarms go off. So we're getting ready to go on the road, aren't we, buddy? Zen is sitting beside me and ready to leave this campsite. Heading to the highway. It's got a short distance to the pavement in front of us, and we're heading to Quartzsite for a couple errands and get on the road. Made it to town. This is Quartzsite again, and this is Highway 95. I'm going to turn right onto, it's called Main Street, and right, get the bus to stop. You can't see it, but right over there, to that little window, right back over there, is where I was broken down at last time. And so we're going to continue on what I started about 2 weeks ago. Pick up my mail, do a little laundry, and then get on the road. Hopefully we've already gotten further than last time, so that's a good point. So we're off to the mail post, Moon Mountain Mail. Well, in the summertime, this place just really gets sparse. It dries up. There's hardly anybody out anywhere, and it's only April. I'm sure it's even worse when it's July or August, but there's the bouncy road. Call that the bouncy bridge. Every time you go over it, I bounce up and down. Made it to the Moon Mountain Mail. We park on across the street. I think they own this part too, but this is an authorized mail pickup parking area. So let's get this thing set up here and see what happens next. There are Moon Mountain Mail across the street. If you need to get in Quartzsite, you need to get mail, I recommend this place. This is highly recommended. They do really good work, fast and easy and nice with everybody. And after April 15th, they change their hours too. So they go a little less hours. And now we're going to be off to the laundromat to finish up the laundry I started. Starting again. All right. For those you don't know, Zen, my dog, sits right here. We'll put it around here. Right here. This is, this is his spot for all of our traveling times. He won't sit anywhere else. He sits on the floor right beside me, and that's as far as he goes. He's a good companion. All right, off we to the laundromat. I know it's hard to record on, or at least audio on these vehicles because the microphone picks up a lot of engine noise and road noise. So you'll notice I mute the mic as I go through because it muffles out the sound. Okay, here's the bouncy bridge again. I don't think it bounces too much this way, but it does the other way. This is the intersection of Main and Central, which is also 95. And right here is where I was broken down last, right about this mile marker 19, right here. So, in the road, and that's why I had to be towed out of the way because I couldn't move it anywhere because I was in the middle of the road. All right, here we are at the laundromat, Main Street Laundry. Should be easy to get in and out of, and we won't go there because they're closed for the season. Well, we'll skip that then. I guess we'll either maybe head towards Phoenix or go somewhere else. And we finally found a laundromat. The other ones were closed down for the season, opened back up in September. And one here, this is called the Palm Plaza Laundromat. All I gotta do is one little load. So we'll be right back. After we walk around the laundromat, I came upon this. This looks interesting. Phoenix Transit Service, an old transit bus behind the laundromat, and it's used for storage. It's kind of cool. Be a good, cool home on wheels. I guess that's air conditioning on top, or it's either that or some kind of jet fuel propulsion. I don't know, but it's interesting. Taking the dog out here for activities behind the laundromat. Got about 20 minutes. All right, here we go. We're about ready to say goodbye to Quartzsite and get on I-10 towards Phoenix. Hopefully it's the last time that we don't have to come back to Quartzsite until in the fall when we want to start and camp here again. But we'll say goodbye to Quartzsite and go on this puppy nasty road all the way to Phoenix. Wish me luck. We don't overheat. We'll see what happens. Just want to put this in here. The driving scenes will have no sound. A lot of them will not have sound because the road's too rough. Microphone cuts out, and I don't have music because this little editing I have on my phone does not add music. And if I did, I didn't want to get copyright strikes. So therefore, just kind of insert your own music if you want some, or just watch the video and watch the road. Thank you. Going to pull into a rest area. Not that we need to rest too much, but we get to lunch. So we find a space to park at this beast. Welcome to Burnt Well Rest Area. That's pretty. Burnt Well. I like that. That's an interesting name for a rest area. It's got some pretty mountains around it. You get up here and get parked and get the engine off. We'll show you what it looks like. As soon as I can find a place to park this truck. This bus looks like I have to park in the middle of a truck area. But we can do it. Right up here by this other bus. Hey, here we go. Park right here. Well, that's interesting. That is, I have never seen a bus look like that before. Let me take the camera out. I'm going to show you. Look at this. Air horns and solar panels on the hood. That's a, that's an interesting bus. Oh, they were at Quartzsite too. There's their sticker. Bluebird solar panels on top. That's quite a bus. Venturine or something on top there. I'm not for sure. But we're going to get us some lunch and get back on the road. We're not too far from Phoenix, probably about 30, 40 miles. But here we are at the rest stop. I explained on the gauge, this temperature gauge here, get my hand out of the way so focus. It alarms about 225 to 2 in that area, and it'll start beeping, and then it'll stay constant as long as you go that area. As long as it drops below 225, it will usually go off. But right now, I can see it's about 195, which is normal. Of course, we haven't gone on the road yet, but that's what it does. And then when it gets to a point where it gets above 230, the red light below it comes on, and the engine light up here comes on. But it just goes 70. It just goes 70 miles an hour, easy. But just interesting. So I'll have the guys look at it when I get the oil change, give their opinion on it. Don't mind the ABS light that's been on and the traction control light. Those have been on for years. Those are just both broken wheel sensors. I know what the problem with that is, but they want a fortune to fix them. So, and they haven't caused any issue. I don't need traction control because I'm not in snow or mud. And the ABS, the brakes still work fine. But we're now heading towards Phoenix. Made it to the rest area, and very nice rest area. Got part that the pets can't go past because of snakes and scorpions, and they are here. We are in Arizona. They are definitely probably out there somewhere, but we won't go there. Nice rest area, about 20, 30 miles from Phoenix going to the west. Nice mountains in the background. Different things. Got some nice mountains across the side of the road. There's a restrooms over here, and they got a, there's the bus. You got picnic tables and off limits. And it's pretty nice. A lot of people here. Over here we got maybe some vending machines. Can't get the pup to move. He's got his nose stuck to the ground. Found something he wanted to smell. These are Palo Verde trees. They're dropping their little bitty leaves. That's about all the leaves they have is what you see there. And they're yellow. Got some vicious beast over there. Little ones think they're big ones. I get. Oh, hold on, I got to go. More signage. Phoenix and the Valley of the Sun. I guess it's a park in Phoenix because I don't think any of these baboons are wild around here. Information. The Burnt Well rest area. And over here they have some vending machines behind the lock and key so nobody steals them all. Different signage. Arizona on your way. So we're about ready to get back on the road and head towards Phoenix. Back on the road again. I'm not going to record too much because the microphone cuts out, as I noticed. But we're getting back to I-10. We're about 30 miles away from our destination, so enjoy the ride. all that bouncing was the actual road. That Interstate 10 is so rough, and even got to one point where the phone fell off the dash and the mount. But it finally cleared up after we got about 15 miles down the road. But it was, you had to have both hands on the wheels. The thing would take you right off the highway. It was so bad. And we have made it to our destination for the night. Found the big three: Lowe's, Walmart, and Cracker Barrel. We're going to see if we can park at the Cracker Barrel tonight later on and see what's going on. But first, we're going to take the dog. We're going to go to Lowe's and we're going to get some groceries. And we made it. So that's the good part. And this is where we're going to end the video. So thanks, everybody. We'll catch up as we get on down the road.